What's up, everyone? I want to introduce to you a new YouTube series that I've decided to do. It's called Smaller by the Day. I know there's another popular series going on, I think, called Bigger by the Day, Road to 30. This is going to be called Smaller by the Day, Negative 30. So basically, what that is basically my new direction kind of with what I'm doing with my body. I'm going to briefly just describe, in brief summation, what happened about 4 months ago to basically get to where I am now. So basically, my father he became very ill. He had prostate cancer, but it was under control for what we thought for a long while. We got a sudden call out of nowhere after the Olympia. I immediately went down to go stay with my mother to help take care of my father, who was rapidly declining. Basically, I was there, had a flight for 5 days. I called the doctor firsthand and basically asked him to just be upfront with me. I know he was kind of maybe, I don't want to say sugarcoating it to my mom, but being a little bit more gentle on the severity of his diagnosis. And he basically said my dad just had months to live, days to live, basically. So canceled my flight. I ended up staying there for the next 2 months, completely stressed out, helping my mom and witnessing some very traumatizing things with my dad in excruciating pain. And it was crazy. It was a very impactful time for me, and it got me thinking about my own health and stuff like that. And unfortunately, he did pass. Luckily, they finally got his pain under control, so he wasn't in excruciating pain towards the last couple days. But it basically got me thinking about the extremes of my bodybuilding career, and my mindset, my one-track mind to basically turn pro. My goal was just to get a pro card as soon as possible. Told my wife, everyone, once I get a pro card, it would be on my resume, and I'm going to quit. In reality, had my dad never passed and never had this, realization, would I have quit really with my addictive personality and how obsessed I am with bodybuilding? Would I have, stopped the chemicals, the growth hormone, all that stuff, and pushed the envelope? Probably not. Even if I stopped competing and didn't compete as a pro, I probably would still be using the same compounds, looking huge at expos, trade shows. It's an addiction. So I told myself right there, while I was actually helping my family in Oregon, I was off everything. Obviously, I didn't think I was going to stay longer than 5 days. So I was just off. I had no testosterone, no growth, no nothing, and just started to kind of deflate there. And no pill psychotherapy, no Clomid, no HCG. Reason being because I was just so over my head with taking care of my father, and I just didn't want to contact anyone. I just didn't care. I didn't care about that. Anyway, whenever I got back to Las Vegas, my home, I still decided to just kind of stay off and not rely on other compounds. And I'll basically tell you like this: my side of the family, my mom's side, it's all drug addiction. There's a lot of drug addiction and alcohol abuse. And I always wondered, I've never been addicted to recreational things or drinking, but, bodybuilding is addictive. Obviously, the hormones and all that stuff can be addictive because it makes you look a certain way. I kind of didn't want to bridge onto HCG and maybe IGF and peptides. And the addictive type mind would want to do other things to offset the hormonal imbalance. I didn't want any of that. I wanted to prove to myself that I have a history of hereditary addiction. I don't want to still use stuff. I want to just cold turkey stop everything. It was a personal thing for me just to not go on testosterone replacement therapy or bridge on IGF or peptides or SARMs to keep my size. Didn't care. What I am addicted to is training and bodybuilding and the lifestyle, nutrition, all that stuff. Didn't want to rely on the chemicals. And also, during that time period when I was under immense stress in Oregon, running around helping my mom take care of my father, my blood pressure was already naturally high. My dad has high blood pressure. He's on medication. I think my mom's side too. Mine was always high, and every time I went to the doctor, it was high. And I know you get white coat syndrome, but I was always alarmed, and I always kind of pushed for blood pressure medication. But the doctor, with my health, and he even knew I was using, hormones and stuff, they still never prescribed it to me. They still thought, I'm going to be fine, and it was just me being at the doctor getting nervous and having a high reading. I still pushed for medication, never happened. While I was there, and under that immense stress with my dad, my blood pressure shot up even higher than normal, and I got so much anxiety. my wife was like, hey, you're in so much stress. Let's go to the doctor and try to get you some anti-anxiety medication because you can't sleep and my nerves are so shot. Luckily, she told me to do that because whenever I went to the doctor, they checked my vitals and my blood pressure was so through the roof. It was like 170 or 180 over 100. It was like on the verge of hypertensive crisis. And I explained my situation about how stressed and strung out I was. And anyway, it was a blessing that, I went in there because obviously I had anxiety from my father's illness. They also prescribed me a blood pressure medication. So now I'm on a beta blocker, metoprolol. So that was another little interesting thing in my life now. So not only do I have low testosterone, now I'm on a beta blocker. So technically you would think my metabolism should be slower. A beta blocker is blocking the beta receptors. Anyone knows anything about bodybuilding science, we take things like caffeine and ephedrine, clenbuterol, albuterol, which stimulates the beta receptor. So now that's blocked for me. So technically I'm probably gonna have a harder time getting leaner, staying lean, but whatever, health is first. So anyway, that's basically why I'm doing what I'm doing. So this road to getting smaller or smaller by the day, a little parody, is basically just going to be me. I was probably 260 pounds before all this craziness happened, or maybe a little higher. Anyone who's seen me, and I walk around in pretty lean shape off season. After all this, I also decided to do a little different dieting. I decided that if I'm going to take a break from the stressors of pumping my body full of a bunch of chemicals, I'm also going to detox my body and not worry about eating so much protein and eating every 2 hours and all that stuff. So anyone's kind of looked at what I'm doing on Instagram and what have you, I've been fasting. And I haven't been doing like a certain intermittent fasting or a certain warrior diet. I've just been doing it out of just common sense and just making my life a little easier right now. So basically what my wife and I have been doing, well, she's been benefiting more from it than I have because she's actually lost weight in a good way, and she likes the eating style. I personally don't really care. It's just been really stress-free for me because I'll be able to go run errands with her. I'll be able to be productive and do new product research for my MPA subs. I'll be able to do write-ups, no breaks with taking Tupperware out and going to the microwave. It's been very liberating, and it's been great, very stress-free. However, that's been going on for like 3 or 4 months, and not gonna lie, my composition's not been the greatest. Now it's kind of catching up to me because whenever I'm feeding, basically I'll fast for 20 hours, maybe 21 hours, and I'll feed for 3 hours, and we're having fun. We're drinking wine and eating cheese and crackers, and I'm maybe getting 80 to 100 grams of protein. So obviously my body's not doing anything amazing right now. I'm pretty impressed that it's still maintained. It's about 230. I'm about 230 right now. And I posted a picture about 6 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago on Instagram where I'm doing the most muscular, and I'm deflated, and I look pretty lean. I have veins everywhere, but I thought I was leaner than I was because I went to go do a bod pod, which I think it's like a 3% margin of error. It's pretty consistent. And I thought I was going to be a little leaner, but I tested at 230 with 11.5% body fat. So that picture, if you go back to my Instagram where I'm doing the most muscular and I have abs and all that stuff, that's about 11.5%, 12%. For anyone out there, I think we overestimate our leanness a lot, and when people think they're 10%, they're really like 16, 17, and so forth. So that's going to be my starting point pretty much. I'll take some other current pictures, obviously, because it's been about 5 weeks since that picture, but my bod pod's about 11.5%, and I'm holding 230 with eating once a day and maybe 100 grams of protein, and I'm on nothing. I'm not on any test boosters or anything, no TRT. And another thing I wanted to mention is people are asking, well, why aren't you on TRT? Why aren't you on hormone replacement therapy? Here's my whole thing with that. I really want to be on it. I want to feel good because I don't feel that great. I don't get your normal morning symptoms that men usually get. I don't have that. My sexual desire is not very high. But what I want to do is there's a stigma with bodybuilders, and we have that over achievers mentality or aggressive mentality where we're obsessive compulsive, and basically most bodybuilders are on TRT, and I was the same way. Our TRT is like 300 milligrams a week, maybe 250, maybe 200, but mostly about 300 milligrams. For instance, I'll have people that email me that want to work with me, and I'll be like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm off everything right now. I'm only running 300 a week of test and 2 IUs of growth or 4 IUs of growth. And that was them off. They say, no, I'm off everything. And to me, whenever I'm in the midst of that, I'm doing similar things myself, I agree, okay, you're pretty much off. So even though even though I would have done a legit TRT, and let me tell you guys out there right now, a legit HRT prescription should be about 100 milligrams of test-cypionate a week, maybe 125. And that might put your nanograms per deciliter at maybe 600 to 800. But you know, everyone out there as bodybuilders are doing 200 a week, 300 a week to cruise or on TRT, and we're on low dose growth. Yeah, we're still maintaining our 250 pounds, 240 pounds, because that's kind of a mini cycle. I mean, that's just what is super physiological levels. Anything above 1,500 nanograms per deciliter, and you're gonna maintain the muscle mass. You aren't really off. So I didn't want to get on TRT, even though legit TRT, because I still have the negative people and the pessimistic people saying, oh, well, he's still on cycle. So of course he's gonna get peeled and maintain 230 or whatever. So I don't want to do that, guys. I'm going to do a LabCorp test, and I'm going to show you, I'm sure my T's low in the gutter like an elderly person, and I'm going to keep it that way. And I'm basically announcing this right now. So my smaller by the day series is what I'm trying to do is 230 to get to 200, and I want to get as lean as possible naturally. Okay, I want to get, maybe contest shape or as lean as I can get, as lean as my body will let me, with low testosterone and perhaps a hindered metabolism from that freaking beta blocker. I'm not going to be using caffeine. The doctors say, my blood pressure, no caffeine. Obviously, no clean, no fat, none of that stuff. No over-the-counter fat burner. So I'm going to have a heck of a time. I'm going to rely solely on nutrition and MPA stuff. So I'm going to still use my topical stuff and anything else I come out with, because I got a lot of stuff coming out too, which we're going to talk about in other videos. But it's going to be a journey. I'm going to bring you guys along with it. I'm going to show you my new diet, which I'm now going to get out of the fasting crap, because I need to increase my protein. As a bodybuilder at heart, I need to start eating every at least 3 to 4 hours. I might start with 4 meals a day. And I'll break down my macros and everything, and all that for you guys. So follow me on my smaller by the day. I'm trying to road to negative 30, not road to 30, negative 30, and no hormones, nothing. So I think it'll be an interesting thing, and hopefully you guys can learn some stuff too. I'll learn some stuff along the way, because this could be a different ball game for me. I mean, just I will do videos too where I'll do a Q&A, and you guys can ask me whatever you want. I'll be open about my hormone usage or anything like that. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm sure even if I tell the truth, there'll still be doubters, people say that stuff is BS. But I'm just going to be upfront with you guys. I think this will be a great series, and everyone that's been positive and seen my posts and stuff, it means the world to me, all the support. Obviously, I'm going through hard times, like mentally as a bodybuilder, man. I mean, walking around, I don't even want to go to expos right now. It's a little hard for me to, whenever I'm walking around back, a couple months ago with crazy leanness and roundness, and my muscles are popping, and people want to take photos with me, my mind's not in it yet, but hopefully as people follow along with this series and stuff, they can be motivated about what I'm doing now, and then I can, I'll be around. I'll start going back to the expos and stuff, but it's just a little hard right now, so I think you guys can understand that. Also, I do have a home gym here. I'm sure you've seen my post about that, so we'll be doing training sessions here at the house. Apparently, from an Instagram comment, which is really funny, I got to mention it. Some guy apparently, maybe he was trolling, maybe he wasn't, but he made a comment. I was doing some spider concentration curls with barbell, and he's like, dude, home gym, clearly not working. Next comment, dude, you're way smaller. Like, this ain't working for you. So it was pretty funny, because I was like, well, did he actually think I'm a decently smart guy? Did he think in my mind that I thought I was progressing, like I was bigger than I was a year ago? Like, was he trying to clue me in on something I didn't know? Apparently he didn't know. He was caught off guard, and he didn't read my messages about what happened in the past, but it was kind of funny. But I will be filming in my home gym. I'll switch it up. We'll do home gym. I have a membership of 24 Hour Fitness. We have an EOS membership, which used to be Gold's Gym, and we might work out of the Las Vegas Athletic Club here and there. So we'll have a variety of different things. I'll start picking up my training a little bit more, and we're going to be doing cardio, because I know I need it now with slowed metabolism. So it'll be very cool. So next video will be about my meal breakdown of how I'm going to start my 4 meals a day and what it's going to be comprised of, etc. So tune along. Thanks.